I was saving this video until the kitchen was finished, but we've had a bit of a kind of hold up with the doors, so I am starting it now. When we were doing the doors, I got a couple of comments saying, show us what's in the cupboards. So rather than combining fitting doors and everything all together, that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to take you through like my seasonings cupboard and kind of the bit around it. So this is my tub next to the cooker where you've got like your spices, like your fresh ginger, your fresh garlic and onions, and a random packet of green cardamom. I've got my sauces in the cupboard and I have got my spices in the drawer. Now, I'll go through this properly with you so you can see exactly what we've got going on in there. So we've got, I'll start at the front because it's easier to see. Vinegar. So I've got cider vinegar, I have got balsamic vinegar, and I have got black vinegar because they all taste different and they all have their own individual uses. So yeah, you know, you've got to have 3 different types of vinegar. But then I realised in another cupboard, I have another type of vinegar. So I'll just dig that one out as well. And that is a seasoned rice vinegar to go with sushi rice. So 4 different types of vinegar because, you know, you need 4 different types of vinegar. Also in this cupboard, I have got some oils. So there is sesame oil, which is used very sparingly. You just need like a couple of dots of it to really add some flavour to your food. Then we've got rapeseed oil, which is kind of like a nicer oil if I'm putting it in salad dressings. Like that one gets used very, very rarely. And this one, while it looks really posh, is just plain old vegetable oil in a posh jar. Because, yeah, it looks nicer and it fits in like my little area a bit nicer. We've got liquid smoke, which... come on, everyone must have liquid smoke because it goes in so many things. Vegan Worcester sauce, which I've barely used. I used to use it when we ate meat and cheese, mainly on like cheese on toast. Mushroom ketchup, which was kind of my replacement for Worcester sauce before we found vegan Worcester sauce. Neither are really used. Soy sauce I have in a huge bottle because we use that quite a lot. So I've got my spare one there and I've got a dribble left in this one because soy sauce. I prefer light soy sauce to dark soy sauce. There have been times where I've had a collection of different ones, so I'm just sticking to the one now. A bottle of sake, which you briefly saw at the beginning there before I was like, yeah, you're not going to see this properly. That is for making like teriyaki. Sweet chili sauce, which it was in a giant bottle, but I put it in that little one because there's not much left. Nooch, that's the word I'm looking for because that is a staple. Every kitchen should have that. Pomegranate molasses. This was given to me by my mother-in-law, and again I don't use it that often because I don't really know what to do with it. I've had a few suggestions which I want to try, but yeah. Now the main bit is our hot sauce collection. We have got all sorts. We do have a little bit of a problem. So we've got like the bog standard ones like Reds. We've got one that we picked up from McBall's. We've got 3 different types of Tabasco. And then we've got these ones. These ones we picked up in Amsterdam. There's 2 of those in there. I think I'll find the other one in a minute. This one is from Lupe Pintos in Edinburgh. I've got a couple from, oh yeah, good old sriracha. Gotta have sriracha. I've got a couple from, that one is from Morrison's. I've got another one from Tesco's. Oh, this is a very special one. This has been brought over from America by a friend of ours who's currently over for the Edinburgh Fringe. Thank you very much, Neil. You are awesome. That is the Tesco one. We have a little bit of a hot sauce addiction, as you may have noticed. This one's also from Lupe Pintos. And the little jar is actually from M&S. So we've got M&S, Morrison's and Tesco, all with like different really good hot sauces. That one is so hot. But yeah, hot sauce. The next layer up is like little jars of things that are kind of running out. So I've got some salt there. It's rock salt that I used to try and make carrot lox. It didn't work. It came out horrifically salty, but I didn't want to waste the salt. So I've been using that as seasoning. I've got stock cubes there. I think they're all OXO stock cubes. Sometimes I have like mushroom ones or ones that we've bought when we've been abroad, but they were all OXO ones. Powdered green cardamom. While I've got the actual pods, which you saw earlier, I also have it ground up for putting in baking. Chat masala, which is like, I'm using it like salt at the moment, so I'll have like avocado toast and I'll sprinkle that on top. I'll sprinkle it on salads. I'm sprinkling it on everything. German mustard, because German mustard's the best, in my opinion anyway. We love German mustard, so yeah, German mustard. These are like chili spice mixes we picked up in Japan. A lot of stuff in this little tub here went out of date a while ago because we've not been using it. It's too precious to use, but it needs to be used because otherwise it's a waste. So these are different types of like hot pepper flakes. You tend to get them alongside ramen. So we've got a few of those that are being slowly but surely used. Tomato paste, because it's another kind of store cupboard essential, unlike most of the stuff I've got here. These are different tubes of things like garlic paste, ginger paste, wasabi. There's like a hot pot paste. I've got it written down somewhere, which I really do need to find so that we can use these up. But, that one's an umeboshi one. We found all these in Osaka, I think it was, and they were something like 100 yen each, which is like 70p. So we bought one of every single colour we could find, and other than the wasabi, we've not really used them. So you've seen the wasabi used previously in wasabi pea pasta. So that's where you would have seen those. The last few things we've got here, this is asafoetida or heng, which it goes in curries, it goes in my dal quite a lot. You just need a little bit, so that's why that's kind of kicking around. This is the last of the kaffir lime leaves that we brought back from Thailand. This is just some cheap old mixed herbs from Morrison's. And this is a cool little thing that I found in the other video, which you would have seen briefly, and it holds that spice mix. So it's just a posh chili spice mix holder. Now we're on the top layer. So ground coriander, these are my big tubs of spices. So I've not even got in the spice drawer yet. This is still in that cupboard. I've got my parsley as well. I bought that to make my own Old Bay seasoning, because over here it's like £7 for a little tub of it, which is just insane. So I was going to make my own. Cumin seeds. I use them quite a lot, so rather than having like a small amount, I've got a big jar. Fenugreek leaves. Again, this was like a revelation for me. This and asafoetida take dal to a whole new level for me. So you've got regular old homemade dal, and then you've got restaurant dal. That is the secret, those two ingredients. That was cinnamon bark. I've also got powdered cinnamon somewhere as well. This you would have seen a lot in all of my cooking videos, my good old garlic powder jar. Also, this you would have seen a lot. This is my chili flakes. I tend to just use the one type of chili. So rather than having chili powders and whole chilies and everything, I just use those chili flakes because they're my favorite. Soy chunks that we picked up in Germany. So we can get like the little like nugget size ones, but these were like almost strips. So we got those when we were in Berlin. This is my favorite, other than chat masala, this is my favorite spice mix. This is chana masala. So this you kind of put in the curry, and chat masala you put on the curry or on the side, or that's like your seasoning salt. This is your curry seasoning, and this is what it looks like in the box, because I've got like 4 of them still in the cupboard because I'm so obsessed with this. It is my favorite spice mix ever. More ingredients. This is curry leaves. So Leo likes these because he makes a really nice the other thing that begins with aubergine aubergine dal, which calls for curry leaves. So they're for him, really. And these are bay leaves, which I picked up from the Chinese supermarket as opposed to McBall's, where I tend to get the rest of my stuff, just because I happen to be in the area and I remembered I needed them. They're just as good. So now, the last bit of this, now you can see why I'm splitting this up into multiple videos, because there's so much in these cupboards. Madras curry powder. If you just need a bog standard curry powder, I quite like that one. Garam masala. So while I do really like that chana masala mix, sometimes I do make other things which involve making your own spice mix. So that's mainly what all this is all about. Ginger powder. I'm not a huge fan of ginger, so we don't always have fresh ginger, but we always have powdered ginger. They're all mainly from this same brand, this TRE, I think it is. So that is mango powder, which is quite sharp. These are black cardamom. So while you've seen the green ones earlier, these are black ones. Now they have a very different flavour. So these are used in things such as pho, and I've also used it in biryani recently. So while I don't use them very often, they definitely have their place in the cupboard. These are mustard seeds, which again were part of the Old Bay seasoning, which I haven't actually got round to making yet. Dill seeds, also part of the Old Bay seasoning. I will get round to that at some point because there's a recipe I really want to try and wicked healthy that calls for Old Bay seasoning. Rose petals. Now this is for more Iranian style cooking, and I got that from Persepolis in London. Sumac. Now this is from McBall's, which is where I tend to get most of my spices. So sumac you kind of find on things like hummus. It's quite sharp, almost like a lemony flavoured spice. This is a Polish spice mix my friend gave me. It's very heavy on the nutmeg. I don't quite know what to use it for other than to make seitan, but I'll figure it out. Cinnamon, this is the ground version, so I've got the sticks for putting in curries and I've got the cinnamon for putting in desserts and sprinkling on top of things. 5 spice, which I use to make my own hoisin sauce, so that way it's only got something like 2-3 ingredients rather than a laundry list of them. Paprika, so this is smoked paprika. A lot of these things I don't use a hell of a lot, but they are really, really handy. This is a bag of chai spiced tea, a weird thing to have in a spice cupboard, I know. But what I do is when I cook chickpeas sometimes, I will cook them in chai spiced tea and turn that into a curry. So it's almost like a tea curry, which just gives it that extra level of flavour. Regular paprika. So I've got the smoked paprika and this is the regular paprika. See, there's so much in these cupboards. Oh my God. Star anise, that's what that is. Allspice. Now the star anise again goes in things like pho and biryani. The allspice, it goes into homemade haggis. Curry powder, because curry powder is always good. Cajun seasoning, it's good on potatoes and things, you know, if you're just like doing wedges, it just adds that extra kick of flavour. As did these ones. Actually, what I do with these as well, rather than just wedges, is put it on corn. So if I'm going to roast corn with a little bit of butter, I'll season it with that and it goes well with nachos, tacos, that kind of thing. Good old harissa. You've got to have some harissa in the cupboard. That is one of those kind of mother spices. I really like doing that with things like plantain. So you can do harissa spiced plantains with scrambled tofu for breakfast, which is amazing. And now we're on the home stretch. We have got 2 things left and they are both masala dabbas. So these are the spices that I use on a regular basis if I'm going from like scratch. So that is dried pomegranate seeds. Again, like Iranian type cuisine. Those are fennel seeds, coriander seeds. I used both of these in a biryani the other night and they were lovely. Green cardamom. More tea. Now these are pu'er teas, and again I use these if I am cooking chickpeas and I want to do like a tea masala. And that's about it, really. I've got this one left here. It's got some doubles in it. Like it's got more turmeric, it's got more coriander seed, it's got like leftovers as well. So that's ginger, because it saves me opening the packet every 2 minutes. These are fenugreek seeds, which I don't really know what to do with. I bought them for something and then they never really get used. Cloves, which get used quite a lot actually. Those are used a lot. And that is the last of the previous packet of sumac. So I lost that packet, bought more, and then promptly found it. So yeah, that is my sauces and seasonings cupboard. So don't forget to subscribe so you can see what's in the other cupboards if you wish to. And yeah, I will see you next time.